Hey, I'm hoping you guys are doing great. So earlier we have discussed about how to work on pandas, how to load the dataset. This time we are going to do the basic dataset walkthrough, how to select a column, how to read the dataset, how to go through multiple columns. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll see you on the other side. So earlier we have discussed about how we can use pandas, how we can import pandas, how we are having some of the function pandas, like we're having series and data frame, right? But today we are going to discuss about a data set, how we can load a data set in pandas and how we can work on it. Okay, basically data set walkthrough. So this is the file that I'm having named as Google Play Store.csv. Here I'm having all the data related to it, and I'll give you the link to download this data in the description part, and also the code. So that's the data set that I'm having. So without wasting more time into just analyzing the data set, let's load in, and after that we learn what are all the things that I'm having here. To do this, we are having dataset walkthrough.ipynb, which is the Jupyter notebook file, the same as I have opened here. Okay, so because I'm using Linux system, so here I can also define the ls command, which will list all the files that I'm having here. I'm having archive directory, Google Play Store walkthrough. If you're on Windows system, you might not able to access it using the same ls. But what I need to do, I need to import pandas first, and I'm importing pandas as pd. There's something you need to do. Once you are done with it, you need to import your data set. So I'm writing data is equals to pd dot read underscore csv. As I've told you, we are having different kind of reading in this, like you can read from the clipboard, means you can even define the link as well. Okay, you can define the csv file, excel file, you can define the html file, json file, pickle is there, a lot from sql as well. You are having a lot of functionality to read the file, but this file is of a csv extension, so I'm writing read underscore csv. Once we have written this, we are having, as I've told you, you can go for the documentation. Here you are having the option to read the documentation, where you can mention all these things. Okay, but to work on this, you do not need to mention all the things. All you need to write is just the name of the file. Name of the file is Google PlayStore.csv. Make sure to write the correct extension. If you are not writing the correct extension, you will get an error something like this: no such file or directory. How if you get any error, scroll down and then you will get a line like in the last line you will get to know the exact reason why this error is coming. So here there is no such file or directory named as that Google Play Store. That means the file that you want to read, this system not recognize that where the file is, what's the name of the file. So to do so, you can also scroll up, and in the first line you will get in which line you are getting this error. So you are getting this error in this line that you have written. Okay, let's suppose in this cell you have written thousands or 20 lines of code, right? If you are executing it, you will get to know, okay, that's the first line where you are getting the problem. So this would be easier for you to recognize how to solve an error. Okay, now the funda of telling you this is so that you can mention the correct file name .csv. Once you have executed it, you will get nothing. Why you will get nothing? Because whatever output that it is giving, I am saving it in this particular variable named as data. If I'm printing data and execute it, this is the data that we are having now. Okay, so here we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Means I'm having 13 columns. Let's open this Google Play Store.csv and count the columns. Like here we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Means the number of columns are same, so does the number of rows. Here we are having thousands of rows. Here you can check, we are having total 10,841 rows in this data set, and also 13 columns are there, right? So this is the data set of Google Play Store. Okay, So what you can do here, you can see it is not mentioning all the data set because that is not actually required. Okay, because I am not going to manually check all the 10,836 rows. I just want to display some of the data points so that I can see, okay, how it is structured. Okay, so that's the data I'm having, and from the representation only you can see what should be the type of it. If I'm checking the type of data, so what it should be a data frame. Same thing as we have discussed in the last session as well. Okay, so from this data, now we are having the data set loaded on our system. So what we can do, we can check if I am writing dot head, okay, and execute it. So here you can see it is displaying you first 5 rows of the data set if you are writing data dot head, okay, and not passing anything. Simply, let's suppose if you want to know about first 10 rows, just mention 10 here, execute it, you will get first 10 rows from 0 to 9. Obviously 0 to 9 will lead you to 10. Okay, and here you can pass any number of your choice. If you are not passing anything, you will get 5. If you are passing anything, you will get those many rows. Okay, now let's analyze something about this data set as well. And from analysis, I mean to say, like, if I'm talking about this data set, so here you can see, first of all, I'm having the name of the application, right? Then I'm having the category, in which category this application lies. Then we are having something called as rating. What's the application rating of this particular application? What is the rating? How many reviews are there? What is the size of the application? How many installs are there? Apart from that, we are having if what's the type of the application? It might be if it is free or paid. Then we are having price. If it is not paid, then obviously it is 0. If it is paid, so we need to charge something, like, so the amount will go here. Currently I'm having just 5 sample, but we are going to analyze these things as well. After that, I'm having content rating, like if it is for everyone or teen or adult or mature. I am just guessing random things about it, but we'll see what are all the things here. But from this we can see, okay, let's take first 10. Okay, so from here you can see, then we are having genre, which includes which type of application is this, like it comes under art and design. And if I'm talking about pixel draw, which is the application, or sketch, which is the very popular application, you must have used it or not as well. So this comes under art and design, and pixel draw comes under art and design and creativity as well. Okay, so there are some of the applications which are having more than one genre, like if I'm talking about coloring book, so it is having art and design and pretend play. Okay, so we are having different genre, we are going to analyze those things. Apart from that, the application last update, now this is an old data set, this is not the latest data set. Because of that, we are having this last update in 2018, but the current version of the application, because every application is having a version, and because of the version, like if someone wants to add more functionality into it, or if there is any bug that has to be resolved, so we are going to add multiple versions into it. So that is why this is the current version, and this is the Android version on which the application is used, because this is Google Play Store, so obviously it is for the Android, and App Store is for the iOS, right? So this is the basic overview about this application that we are having. Okay, similarly, now what we can do, let's suppose if I want to take one column at a time from this. Okay, so if I want to take one column, so I am having multiple approaches to, so I can either use indexing or name of the column, right? So if I'm writing data of, and here I'm mentioning the name of the column, let's suppose app, and execute it. Here I will have all the names of the applications. First name of the application is photo editor and candy camera, that is here. Second is coloring book. Third is you launcher light, it is there. So this will display you all the name of the app. Similarly, by taking the reference of the name of the column, you can take anything. Like if I'm talking about size now, so to do that I need to write data. size. So this is the size of the application. So you can take the reference from them and you can do a lot of things. That is something we are going to discuss as we proceed further. So by taking this, you can actually take anything of your choice. Like you can take any column. For example, like we can take data dot columns. If I'm okay, I need to remove it. If I'm writing data dot columns, so what it will do from this data frame, it will return me all the data frames I am having, all the column names I am having basically in the list format. So what I can do, I can write for I in this, and if I'm printing I, what I'm having all the column names, right? And similarly, what I can do, I can pass the data of I, right? And let's suppose I'm taking the first index of it. That is also something can be done. Okay, for example, what I am doing basically, so I'm taking so this is how I can access the columns. Similarly, how I can access the rows. To access the rows, I can do something like I'm creating a new cell here. So here, let's suppose if I'm going for data of app, so this will display me all the name of the applications. If I'm going for 0 of it, this will display me the first application, same as we have discussed in list. So from the indexing as well, I can access each element of this particular data frame. Okay, so can I do the same with data of 0? No, I cannot do it, right? Because this is a data frame, not a list. But if I'm using data of app, and if I'm executing it, I'm getting something like this. If I'm checking the type of it, so it is of a series. On the series, we can apply indexing. On data frame, I cannot apply indexing. We can also do the same, but for that purpose, we are having some other functions. Okay, so this is the basic overview about the data set structure, like how we are having the data set, how we can load the data set, and how we can walk through the data set in a very nice manner, like how many rows are there, how many columns are there, how we can load the data set, how we can basically check each column, how we can go for each and every row. Okay, now in the next session, we are going to analyze each and every column, right? App, category, rating, what are all the things, what are different type of columns we are having, and how we can analyze those things. So that is something we are going to discuss in the next video. Thank you. So I'm hoping you are clear with the concept, how we can load the data set, analyze it, or basically selecting each and every column and seeing what we are having in the data set. If you're still having any doubt, we are having the discussion session for you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.